People in the World of Warcraft community have been absolutely losing their minds over the one-button rotation. Particularly, Teros has been talking about how this is very bad for the game, as it doesn't incentivize you to actually learn, but instead just passively play the game and getting an insane amount of damage with no effort. I actually made my own video kind of agreeing with him over this, because even though I think it could be very good, it could also do a lot of damage. But can you actually do as much damage as his charts say? Or is it really not that big of a deal? Well, in this series, we're gonna go through it and check it out. We're gonna check if we can actually do as much damage as everyone says you can do on one of the worst classes to use this feature in, to see if it actually disincentivizes you from learning and from trying to get better and try. Subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Go to my Ko-Fi if you want to support my content. Go to my Twitch to watch me live every morning, and let's get into it. Here we have our character, an Outlaw Rogue with not the best gear. I played a little bit of this build back in the last season, but I barely geared it, and I really don't know how to play the spec at all. And the biggest reason why I actually chose this spec is because it's one of the worst specs to actually play with a one-button rotation. Most people will actually lose around 20% damage when using the one-button rotation, but Outlaw Rogue loses minus 35%. It's a lot. And this is because this class in particular gets very affected by global cooldown, as every time you usually use your abilities, your cooldowns go lower, and the less you do this, the more time you take to actually do this, the worse it is. And also you actually have to press a lot of cooldowns to do an okay amount of damage. So even if you're using the one-button rotation, you're still gonna have to learn the class at the very least a little bit. Not too much, so the challenge doesn't get invalidated, but still. The biggest question about this entire thing is gonna be, can you actually do more damage than a person that is actually trying their best? Can I press just one button and do more damage than other people that are really trying hard to get into the top of DPS charts? I talked about this in my other video, but I think it's very important to think about the fact that most people don't do that much damage. Think about whenever you play your MMO, WoW, Guild Wars 2, whatever. Do you actually think that you can do 80% of the best damage you could ever do? Because that's one button rotation does. Whatever this number here on the side is less than the perfect amount of damage you could actually do. There's other things that actually happen too, like, hey, you might lose damage because you're moving around. You're not in the position you should be in, getting actual damage at the same time. There's many things, but how much does that affect compared to the rotation? And that's going to be the question I'm going to have to answer in this video. Does a player that is bad and is not doing any of these things and concentrates just on pressing one button perform better than a person who is trying to press the buttons and might actually be distracted or doing all the other things? Well, I'm very excited to see. We'll definitely have to see how it works and whether we can actually also learn the class. Because, as you can see here, there's a lot of different things that you can actually use that are not part of the rotation. Mobility skills, defensives, as you can see right here, interrupt CC, AoE CC, another defensive, and you also go in stealth and you can do other stuff with this. So we might actually be able to learn these things regardless. For why understanding the auto button rotation uses all of the skills right here, and it should be easy to just press this button and nothing else and do most of the damage. The only thing we're gonna have to think about is Vanish and Adrenaline Rush. Adrenaline Rush giving us more damage, and using Vanish to make it so that Adrenaline Rush lasts for longer. We also need to remember to use our poison. This is something I really always forget. We might have to get ourselves a weak aura for this. And I also have not gotten myself a tier set, so I'm not really sure if that's gonna change the rotation or the way that I end up playing. Let's see if we can actually get some more gear. I've done everything this week and we only have 2 minutes before the reset. So let's open a bag right here. See what we can get. Maybe an upgrade. Bracers, champion bracers. That is a huge upgrade. Good. We're going to be ready for tomorrow to absolutely blast the keys and see if we can do something good with this. And let's see if we can actually get ourselves a tier 2 set. Let's go in here into this little thing. How many of these things do we have? We have the bag, we have the chest, and we have nothing else. We can transform the chest, and we have the pants too, and we have 8. We can definitely absolutely do this. Okay, let's get... Actually, we might be able to get a 4 set tomorrow. All right, here we go. We're gonna get the tier set 2 for tomorrow. Boom, boom, boom. Done. And what does it do? Your spells and abilities have a chance to activate winning streak. We're gonna have to go through that tomorrow and see how it actually works. And let's get these boots as well. Actually, let's wait until tomorrow, because tomorrow we're gonna get a lot of loot here, as you can see here. And we might actually get something that could be very useful and use a tier set on that. So let's wait until that. And, well, I mean, that's essentially the video. I'm very excited to see how this actually plays out, how it actually feels. It might be very boring to play the spec, because it's a very involved spec with a lot of things happening. It might not be very fun to just press one button. It might be very fun because you can concentrate on the defensives, in the CC, in the other way that the game plays. I'm very, very excited, and we're definitely gonna make a video very soon on my first day conclusions, and also see how much damage we're gonna do, because the first day we try this, just by starting to get our gear up to prepare for this challenge, we were not doing even close to any sort of competitive damage. That being said, this was a key where people were actually doing okay damage, but I was doing less than the tank. So it's definitely not looking great. But the next episode is going to be the big one, where I actually have some okay gear, and we can use this to actually compare ourselves with people who are actually trying, and whether we can actually do more damage than them, and whether that is a good thing or not. Let me know what you guys think. Subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Go to my Ko-Fi if you want to support my content. Go to my Twitch to watch me live every morning. See you guys around. Love you all. Ciao, ciao.